So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our conjunction video of the week. And this week we're going to be covering our conjunction of Sun, Venus, Mars, and Ketu, and what happens when these four conjunctions are in your particular horoscope. And as always, if you do not know where this conjunction is in your chart, what sign it's in, what nakshatra it's in, what house it's in, all the other astrological details, for that, check out the links here. Check out my full astrological report, including my books, Astrology, Conjunction Aspects, and Mahadashas at the Speed of Light, including all my consultations at this link. So, Sun, Venus, Mars, and Ketu. Sun, okay, so if I had to define this in one word, one sentence, I would have to say that this is a person who has to deal with the karma of love, who has to deal with the impatience of love, who has to deal with dominance of relationships. Why? Because look, if you logically look at things, okay, Sun and Mars are very hot planet. One is big, one is aggressive, and at the same time you have the shadow of Mars, Ketu, which is also about conquering, cutting, shredding, breaking. So on one side you have Sun, which is like a melting pot. It can melt any metal on this world, unless that, I'm sure there's one metal that Sun cannot melt. I'm pretty sure. If something is possible, most likely it is. But Sun is this hot boiling nuclear fission happening. Then you have this Mars, the hot planet, the red planet of war, conquering, attack. And then you have the south node of the moon, south node of the moon, Ketu, which is again represented by the shadow of Mars, which is known as the planet of conqueror. It's about land. It's about cutting things, splitting things. And why did I use the word karma? Because of the fact Ketu represents our karma from past life. It represents past life deeds and deaths. Wherever Ketu is, it's not just representing your past life expertise. It's not representing just who you are from the past, but it's representing the karma you must pay back in this life. And how are you going to pay it back? You're going to pay it back through Rahu. This is why dynamic of Rahu Ketu is very, very powerful. So here in amongst these three planets, you have this soft planet Venus, Shukracharya, the teacher, the guru, the lover, the romance, the companionship, relationship, our ability to love something. And on a relationship status, Sun represents the father, authorities, government. Mars represents brothers, friends, male friends, our male counterparts. Ketu represents maternal lineage or paternal grandmother. Ketu represents spiritual people. So this particular conjunction, especially, even if it's loosely placed degree wise, I definitely have seen, I cannot really say percentage wise, but a whole lot of times where any early marriage and relationships that happen always end in major power struggles. Why? Because you got to remember, it's imagine all these 3-4 planets like baby snake. A baby snake injects more venom compared to an adult snake. Baby snake attacks no matter what. Adult snake knows that, well, it's a human, I don't want to go deal with it, blah, 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 let me just leave it alone. Baby snake oh, there's something walking toward me, I just got to attack it. So whenever planets are young, in our early age, planet age with us, they start from our baby age and then they grow with us. So early stages, they're very hot, very aggressive, very immature, impulsive. So here you will always find And this is actually, I would say, regardless of the sign. You will always find a person who learns karmic lessons of dealing with very aggressive, authoritative people they come across in a relationship. And usually the aggression will never be shown in the beginning. Because remember, this is the karma you're paying. So if, let's say, if I have this conjunction and I run into an extremely beautiful woman, extremely intelligent woman, the greatest personality ever, what am I going to do? I'm going to go, wow, I want to be with this person. I want to marry this person. So you get attracted to that initial stage. But then slowly, as you are in that relationship, that's when things boil up. That's when you realize, oh my God, this person is way too aggressive, way too angry, way too obnoxious. Because remember, Venus is not here representing you. Venus is representing spouse, girlfriends, boyfriends, our romantic, counterparts. So that's one thing that happens. But also here, Venus being surrounded by these planets will also delay the significance of children in a man's chart. So you will have children late. Why? Because of the fact Venus represents sperm, semen. It's surrounding these malefic planets, but look at the dynamics of these planets. They're hot Pitta planet. That means, and Tamasic planet, that means they're burning the sperm cells. You have to wait till these planets cool down and the sperm cells can rejuvenate so you can procreate. And at the same time, what this does is, when it comes to the sexual energy, because Mars represents our passion, Venus represents our sexual energy, and they're both together, which makes a person very, very highly sexual. But what also happens is, if Venus is too close to the sun, Mars is too close to the sun, it's so heated and burning up that you either may not have the desire to fulfill your sexual needs, or they will be so overpowering that is all that is going to matter to you. And with Ketu, that outcast, Ketu, that planet, that is outside of the realm of normal society and thinks very differently, can create very unusual situations when it comes to sexual interactions. Either this person may as well, this person could be a person who abuses other people in relationship, sexually, mentally, physically, or this is the person that gets abused in the relationship, mentally, sexually, emotionally, physically. Especially depending upon if this conjunction is influencing your ascendant or your 7th house, your Atma Karka or your Dhara Karka, which are the, Sthira Karka of astrology. I'm sorry, no, Chara Karka, movable. So that's what this conjunction is mainly doing. Then at the same time, when it comes to, let's say, learning something, your soul, your personality, usually I have found these people to always be attracted to technical knowledge, technical skills, or attracted to sociology, attracted to social work, and even wanting to somehow be connected to the government. That passion comes in to serve the government, because remember, now you have government already, sun, you have Mars, the soldier, and you have Ketu, the conquered army. And then Venus, which represents our passion, ability to enjoy and love something. Eventually, these people kind of love that war zone in a way. So it can bring about that natural interest towards wanting to be either soldier, police officer, government servant, wanting to just serve something higher to fulfill that gap, to fulfill that, the passion which is very heated and scattered. Now, obviously, this can represent actors, actresses, who knows, depending upon how your conjunctions are placed, what sign they're placed in, but especially like how they're placed from your Kakamshagna. I gotta say, like, no matter what happens, no matter what type of a rating that I do, I'm always looking at Kakamshagna now. You guys don't understand. Kakamshagna, the KL, the alternative ascendant in astrology, it's extremely powerful. Like we think astrology should be from ascendant, right? Your rising sign. This is the most basic of things. This is like a very watered down astrology now that I think about it. The old ancient rishis in our time in India or Greek or Egypt, they knew a whole lot more than what we know of astrology. It's like we misconstrued and misunderstand so many things in astrology, where we think that our ascendant is everything, or our moon sign is everything, or this is everything. Where there's these little tricks and trade, which especially now that I'm learning, with Mark Boney on my Gemini courses, I mean, you don't even need to use your ascendant chart, to be honest with you. You can see a person's life pinpointed with Kakamshagna. Like, especially when it comes to education, I don't even need to pay attention to your 5th house from the ascendant or moon sign. I simply look at the Karakamsha, and you can see a whole lot more. Karakamsha, Charadasha, or Swamsha Lagna. It's amazing. But anyway, I'm deviating from that. But, this conjunction will definitely also bring about major power struggles and lack of love from the father. Due to the fact, remember, Venus represents our ability to love something, our ability to give our compassion and devotion to something. So here, if Venus is being surrounded by such malevolent energy, malefic, tamasic energy, heated energy, the way we grow up in our life, we grow up from a standpoint where love is a very dangerous thing. Love doesn't exist. Love doesn't mean anything. And especially if, let's say, you have this conjunction and then you have Moon conjunct Rahu. And I'm saying this because of some of the examples. These people could become sociopaths, where like they can be so charming, so great, so caring, but bam, when it comes time to being with them, they can definitely do some damage. But obviously, that Moon Rahu conjunction has to be in a particular nakshatra. It has to be in a particular house, because I found it in a couple of charts with a similar conjunction where Moon was conjunct Rahu, where the thought process that they had, they wanted help in certain things. So I'm not going to tell you those things, but man, I mean, it is what it is. And I have found actually quite a few spiritual people with this placement as well. Because what happens is, here's the thing about spirituality. If you have the yoga of spirituality, what will happen is, by getting hurt by men in your life, father, spouse, you ultimately find love in what? You find love in God. You find love something higher than yourself, higher than all the humans around you who lack the love around you. This world is not lacking love. Your particular karma with Ketu shows you may lack that love from these individuals. Unless, of course, this conjunction occurs in Libra, Taurus, Pisces, Sagittarius, where it can be tolerable. But even then, I mean, you find that very oblivion relationship with these people. So main thing you have to understand is that you need to wait. Whenever you're in a relationship with this conjunction, take your time. I would even say live with the person for 3-4 months. Know their inside out of what you're getting into before you're like, okay, this is the person for me. You have to live with that. That's my suggestion. I don't care if you're in India or somewhere. I don't care if you're in a conservative society or liberal society or whatever society. This is just for your own sake. I don't care what your culture is, what kind of things you're growing up in. It is what it is. That's my suggestion. Okay. So anyway, guys, if you're new to my channel, subscribe below. If you want to know where your conjunction is, what your other planetary placements are, my books, reports, consultations, for that, check out the links here. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.